During this presentation, we will go in detail through all the different features of the Lotus Farcaster dashboard. The technologies behind Farcaster are Grafana and Prometheus. This solution can be self-hosted for security reasons. The interface is accessible from any type of devices, from PC to smartphone. Dashboards are fully customizable. You can create your own dashboard, edit existing ones, add panels, create alarms. Thousands of reports can be imported to track servers and KPI, from memory to hard drive, CPU, and so on. You can go to the Grafana website and see all the different dashboards. The dashboard is split in two sections. The top section is a live view of the miner activity. The second section contains historical graph of the miner. A few options are available at the top. Here, you can switch between your miners and see the dashboard accordingly. On the right side, you have a few links that are pointing directly to websites showing information related to your miner. Let's start by the real-time section. Farcaster status confirm if the node exporter running on the miner run properly, and Lotus Miner and Lotus Daemon are running also. If an error occurred, you should look at what's happening on the miner. Here, you can find a timestamp of the last update. You can then see on-chain information. The chain head, the number of peers connected to your miner and to your daemon. The sync status of the daemon, you have one line per worker. If you see any red line, that means that maybe you are not on sync. The second section is related to the power. We've got the quality adjusted power here, so you are probably very familiar with the quality adjusted power. We introduce a new one called max quality adjusted power. It represents the max power the miner can expect if all deadlines succeed, but also include the sectors sealed since the last deadline. Then we've got the raw power, which is exactly the same you can find in the command line. We've got a power estimation here with how often you are supposed to mine a block, your mining rate, and your power rate compared to the network. All deadlines are presented here with the remaining time before the deadline starts. The deadline turned green when successful. It displays also the number of recovering sectors and faulty sectors. When the deadline approaches, it will turn amber, so you know that you should be careful of doing any activities. This flag displays your mining eligibility based on your current power. You can see here all information related to mpool. You have the local mpool pending, total message in mpool, and the real-time base fee. The local pending messages are enriched with information that are very friendly. Like if you see this message, you can read that it's coming from the worker to the miner, which is a proof commit sector method. It's much more convenient than looking at addresses. The wallet section displays the available balance. Everything that is green actually on the here have different gradient of colors based on the value. So when something is too low, this will turn red. The miner here, the miner balance, the owner, worker, and control 0 balance. The log balance, you can also see other wallet balance. Like here, we have a ledger, but we have also other addresses on the miner. They have intelligible names, which is based on the configuration file, which is optional that you can activate on the node exporter on the miner, which make the dashboard very convenient. And finally, if you are a file plus client, you can see the verified data cap available for all your different addresses in this section. Now, let's move to the sealing section. All your sealing activities appear here. The first graph is a visual view of the ongoing job pipe. You can easily see how much deal you have in which state. So here we have PC1, PC2, C2, and GET, but you also see sectors that are actually waiting for something. So this could be sector in errors, or this could be sectors with that are idle because they are waiting for the message or waiting for the chain. Then you have two different sections here that are very similar. The first one is the list of all the sectors that are actually sealing actively. So you can see the sector ID, the worker, the type, the duration when the sector enters this specific state, the remaining time before it's finished, which is something very new that you can't get from the command line, and I will explain how we get that value later on. If there is any deals attached to this sector, and when it has been created. You find roughly the same information when the sector is idle for any reason. So here we have one sector that is idle in C1, C2 state. We have one that is in commit wait, so that's probably the one we have above here that is waiting for the message to reach the chain. And we have two sectors that are actually failed. We have average sealing duration. So this is actually very convenient. This is values that are calculated based on your historical value. So the first value is based on the last 10 sectors. So we can see here that on the last 10 sectors, it took roughly 8 hours and 24 minutes to seal the sectors. And the average on the last 100 sectors was like 9 hours. Then we have also the average per type. Here we can see that the PC2 is usually taking 10 minutes on that server, but the PC1 is taking 5 hours and 41 minutes on the Celenus server. Based on that, we can here calculate the remaining time that you have. When one sector is taking too much time in one state, the color here will change, so you will know that there is probably something happening that may need your attention. Now, let's talk about the different workers. We have 4 workers that are actually connected to this miner. We here have the information related to the storage of these workers. We can see that there is 3 different drives connected to the miner, the available space on these drives, and the same thing, the color is changing when the values are too low. We also see for each worker how much space they have available. Before continuing with the workers, just have a few explanation about this. So this is the deals that are actually in the sealing state. So you can find the information related to the sector they are attached to. So here the two first one are here. So this is 2359. This here is in commit wait, and so on. You can see which client is sending this to you. So instead of seeing an address, you see a friendly name again. You can see that it's verified deals and what is the size of the deals and different information related to the deal. If we go back to the workers, you get the same type of information, but in a more visual way of what you can find in the CLI. So if the GPU is used, if the CPU is used, how much RAM and virtual memory. The next piece is related to your config. So as you can see, we are connected to mainnet. You can find easily the version you're running and what are the different config you've got for the storage market and the retrieval market. The next section is a split view of the graph you have above. So we have 2 different graphs, one specific for the running jobs and one specific to the idle jobs, one specific to the errors. So this could be useful for some analytics. The next section display actually how much sectors you have per deal state. This may take some time, so we can go back on that later on. And then we enter the historical part of the dashboard. So most of the panels you will find here are historical view of information we just presented to you above. These one are related to the balance. This one is very convenient, it's related to the traffic. So you can see the traffic. Here I've got probably 2 deals that arrive at that time. There is 2 peaks here. But the very cool thing here is you can even get the split and the breakdown per protocols. You can also see the net peers. This section shows you an historical view of the usage of all your different workers. So it's you can find again the CPU, the GPU, the physical memory, and so on. The scrape time is actually how much time the node exporter is consuming on your server. So what we can see here is that actually it's taking 3 seconds to retrieve all these informations. So it's very lightweight. Yeah, you can see the power estimation is changing over time. This is something that I'm using quite often. The last one is the sector state per deadline, which actually is useful for troubleshooting. It gives you the exact state of each sectors attached to each deadline and partition, and if is faulty, recovering, active, and so on. I hope this video convinced you how Farcaster can drastically improve your daily operations. Please visit the TwinQuasar website to see our other solutions for miners. Thank you.